Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Neshaminy's 2022 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. I am Sylviana Colon, President of Neshaminy's National Honor Society. Would everyone please rise and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce Mr. Garska, the principal of Neshaminy High School.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. It is with great pride that I introduce myself as the principal of Neshaminy High School, and I am very pleased to be here tonight to speak with all of you, particularly our inductees tonight. So before we begin, how about a round of applause for our inductees tonight? I'm going to hold this thing. I think that's better. Couldn't print my speech, so I'm going to do the way the kids do on my phone. I'm not cool, trust me. All right, this is bad. All right, there we go. Well, good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. It is a wonderful occasion, and you and your parents should all be very proud. I know I speak for the entire Neshaminy School District when I say that we are extremely proud of you and all that you have already accomplished and are looking forward to see what you do next. I was asked to speak tonight on the topic of leadership, and I'm going to do that, but in a roundabout sort of way. Leadership is one of the 4 pillars of NHS, along with scholarship, service, and character. I believe that scholarship, service, and character are addressed in the requirements that you must meet in order to be inducted into the National Honor Society. Scholarship is represented by a GPA requirement. Service is represented by an activity or volunteerism requirement. And character is addressed by teacher recommendation and a necessary lack of discipline issues. So, I have to ask, where does the leadership component come in? I believe that we, high school staff and administration, do already look at NHS as leaders in our building. We point to NHS whenever we are asked to share the great things about our high school. We point out how many of our students enroll in AP courses. We point out the scholarships won by students for PJAS. We point out the great things our service organizations like Minithon, Student Council, and Interact Club do. We point to the hours our choir, band, orchestra, and drama students commit to putting on shows and performances. We point to you, our students, who are involved in these organizations. You, who represent us so remarkably. There is no leadership requirement here. You make these organizations run, but it is not required that you are some kind of officer. Yes, I do believe that through NHS, we have assembled students who we consider leaders and who are poised to lead in the future. I want to focus on that last part of the statement, poised to lead in the future. I believe that your focus as NHS members should be to develop your leadership skills, and I have a suggestion for how you should go about doing that. It is very simple. Be a good follower. Develop your followership skills first. In order to be a good leader, it is important to know what it means to be a good follower. You will be expected to follow the lead of Miss Kelly and Miss Quaranta and of the NHS officers. In my experience, the best leaders were once the best followers. As a leader, it is important to know and understand what you are asking of your followers. I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to follow some great leaders throughout the course of my career. They have shared with me their experiences as teachers, department heads, assistant principals, and superintendents. Each of the leaders that I have encountered and connected with have talked about the leaders that they have followed. And each of these leaders have shared with me the importance of understanding how their decisions impact the followers to which they are attached. So, what does it mean to be a good follower? A quick Google search and you'll stumble upon one of many lists. The one I like has 5 items on it. It basically says, to be a good follower, you need to be motivated, courageous, service-oriented, dedicated, and have a strong work ethic. It's not the most appealing thing to write about how good of a follower you are on a college essay. So what I'm asking for you to do is to be cognizant of 2 major things as a member of NHS. One, are you being a good follower when you are participating in NHS activities? What I really mean by that is, can you describe yourself with those 5 common skills? Are you motivated? Are you courageous? Are you dedicated? Are you service-oriented? And are you ready to work hard? Interestingly, many of these skills overlap with those observed in good leaders. 2, what do you see in the leaders that you are following? How does what they say and do affect you as a follower? How does what you do as a follower affect them as leaders? The give and take between leaders and followers is an important dynamic that should not be overlooked. In closing, do I believe that you are all leaders in this building amongst your peers? I do. Do I believe that you are ready to go beyond Neshaminy High School and be a leader in our greater world? Can't say that yet with certainty, but I'm confident that if you focus on being a good follower between now and graduation, you will have a better understanding of what it means to be a good leader in whatever challenges await you beyond these walls. Thank you, and congratulations on your induction into the National Honor Society at Neshaminy High School.
Thank you, Mr. Garska. I'm Dr. Rob McGee, Superintendent of the Neshaminy School District. I want you to know that if the Phillies were playing tonight, I had this down to 3 minutes. The Phillies are not playing tonight, so settle in, folks, all right? Mr. Garska said, be a good follower. I like that. When it comes to established leaders, I'm going to take it a little bit broader. But first, welcome and congratulations, National Honor Society inductees. I'd like to take a moment to express my thanks to our National Honor Society advisors, Mrs. Kelly and Mrs. Caranta, for their service to Neshaminy High School. It is both an honor and privilege to have you as part of the team. Thank you, ladies. National Honor Society. 3 words with so much meaning and power. Let's dissect them. National. The word signifies something much bigger than just Neshaminy High School. We are but a chapter in a larger society. Honor. When we think about honor in school, honors in school, we think about grades, good grades, honor roll, honors courses, etc. However, the scope of honor in this society's definition extends far beyond academic achievement. Grades are just part of the equation. The final word is society. In this context, a society can be defined as a voluntary association of individuals dedicated to a common end. That common end is defined in this society's constitution. And I quote from the National Honor Society Constitution: to create enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate the desire to render service, to promote leadership, and to develop character in students of secondary schools. The common end extends well beyond grades. I think you're pretty clear on the idea of service and scholarship. I'm going to take on character and leadership like Mr. Garska. The National Honor Society Constitution describes each of these cornerstones as follows. Character, I quote, members demonstrate good character through citizenship, by showing courtesy, concern, and respect for others, by exhibiting high standards of honesty, reliability, cooperation, and responsibility. Leadership. Student leaders are resourceful, good problem solvers, dependable, and support school activities. They are both organized and organizers. Congratulations on your accomplishments in these areas. But we are not done. This is just the beginning. You have been accepted into the National Honor Society on these cornerstones. But I, like Mr. Garska, would like to challenge you. Challenge you not to rest on your present accomplishments. As the cornerstones are boundless, I'm asking for more. Let's go back and reflect on the characteristics of both character and leadership as cornerstones. Character. I'm going to read through that list of character traits again. As I do, please reflect on your accomplishments and shortcomings related to each trait. Courtesy. Concern and respect for others. Honesty. Empathy. Reliability. Cooperation. And responsibility. If you're like me, as I read through the list, I thought of examples where I did well. But also, if you're like me, I thought of some situations where I could have done a bit better and taken my character to an even higher level had I acted differently. It is in those situations I challenge you to extend your character. And start with the notion of the idea of accepting and appreciating differences among us, as our differences are what strengthen our bonds. Let me say that again. Our differences are what strengthen our bonds. Accept that there are differences among us. Seek to understand the differences among us and appreciate the unique opportunity to understand something new. Character is all about accepting and appreciating differences among us. On to leadership. How should we lead? Where should we go? Where should we take others? I have a suggestion as to apply your leadership skills like Mr. Garska as well. It is right here at Neshaminy High School beyond the realm of the National Honor Society. My favorite leadership saying is, good leaders take people where they want to go. Great leaders take people where they ought to go. It is to this end I'd like to challenge you, both individually and collectively as an organization. You, as students, know more about what goes on in Neshaminy High School than the adults. As a result, in many situations, you have more influence over those circumstances and situations than you may think. Influencing others' decisions and actions, if done appropriately, is leadership and character all rolled into one. You don't need a title to be a leader. As a matter of fact, most successful leaders are leaders prior to earning a leadership title. Our school comes down to a collective set of individual decisions, not only made by principals and staff, but also by students and parents over time. What type of decisions? Choices you make in classrooms, lunchrooms, hallways, locker banks, and on buses. Choices you make to escalate or de-escalate conflict. Choices you make when you see something you know is wrong. Do you contribute to the problem by making it worse? Do you contribute to the problem by doing nothing? Or do you choose to help make Neshaminy High School a better place by doing something about the problem? Please bear with me as I try to explain using an oversimplified analogy of trash. Yes, he said trash. What if 2,500 students individually at Neshaminy High School, 2,800, decided not to use trash cans? Would you be proud of that school? Probably not. It'd be somewhat of a mess. Let's look at it another way. What if only 200 kids decided not to use trash cans and the other 26 or so hundred decided to dispose of the refuge responsibility? Would you be proud of that high school? Probably still be pretty messy. But what if we all decided when we see trash where it's not supposed to be, we briefly stop, pick it up, and dispose of it appropriately, while at the same time working to help the 200 litter bugs among us change their ways? Would you be proud of that high school? I would. And that's the vision I hope to instill in you as members of the National Honor Society. A vision to apply and practice character and leadership. Some of you are looking at me a little strangely, like he wants us to pick up trash as the National Honor Society. It's not just about trash. Matter of fact, it's not about trash at all. Yeah, I'd like you to pick up the trash, but it's not about trash. Swap the word trash out for any number of other significant issues. Trash is simply a metaphor. What if each piece of trash is an incident of bullying? What if each piece of trash is an incident of harassment, an incidence of violence, an incidence of discrimination, an incidence of disregard for sensible rules and procedures? Would you be proud to go to a high school where even a small part of the population was involved in those type of activities? How will you choose to respond? Will you contribute to the problem? Will you permit the problem to exist by doing nothing? Or will you act in some way to improve the situation? I humbly suggest you lead by doing the next right thing. You as students, again, see, hear, and know so much more about certain things that go on at Neshaminy High School than the adults, and you have far, far more influence over your peers than you think. It is in this area student leadership can help run Neshaminy High School. Doing the next right thing. Not some big monumental event. Nope, just a small incident where you do the next right thing. You get to decide what is right in that moment. You, nobody else, doing the next right thing. Next meaning even after a series of wrong decisions, you make the next decision the right decision. Leadership starts with individual decisions piled one on top of another. You know the difference between what is right and what is wrong. You know it when you see it. What I'm asking is that you lead in these small areas of influence. Collectively, such leadership is how improvement and change happens. You may not know it, but you are uniquely equipped for this leadership role. In closing, scholarship, service, character, and leadership will take you far. But remember, it's not about you. It's more about others, using your gifts, your talents, to improve things for others. Again, congratulations on your induction, and thank you.
Mr. Garska, Dr. McGee, Mrs. Kelly, Ms. Kranta, members of the faculty, parents, and students, welcome to the 2022 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. We are gathered here to formally recognize those students who have been selected by the faculty of our school for successfully completing their candidacy and are being inducted as new members of our National Honor Society chapter. For current members and those former members who may be among our guests, we hope that this will serve to remind you of the standards of excellence you too are charged with maintaining as members of the nation's oldest, largest, and most prestigious student recognition program. Tonight's ceremony indicates the continuing emphasis on excellence that we represent for our school and our community. Throughout the year, members of our chapter serve as role models for other students. In addition to strong academic records that established our eligibility for membership, our chapter members are leaders in many student organizations. I would now like to introduce Nicolette Keddy, our National Honor Society Secretary.
Good evening. It is at this time that we proclaim to all in attendance that membership in the Neshaminy chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by these candidates through effective demonstration of the 4 qualities that serve as standards for the society. Each of the standards will be represented by a candle that lights the way and serves as a reminder. We will review these qualities for the new inductees. Scholarship. Scholarship denotes a commitment of learning. A student is willing to spend hours reading and studying, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life, which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. Leadership. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is a sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed, thus, to lead is a meaningful and substantive charge to each of our members. Service. Service can be established in the routine of the day's work where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in the community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. Character. Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality and our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides one through life and, once developed, grows steadily within. Character is achieved, not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. I would now like to introduce your president, Silviana Colon.
At this time, will the new inductees please rise and raise your right hand? Please join us in reciting the pledge. I pledge to uphold the higher purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands, and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Thank you, and please be seated. I would now like to introduce Aloha Eckerman, Vice President, and Lucas Smolskis, Treasurer of National Honor Society.
It is at this time that we would like to acknowledge the new candidates. As your name is called, please walk forward to receive your certificate that serves as a symbol of your dedication that has gone into accomplishing this great honor. Will the first rows please rise?
Sophia Abamondi.
Christian Adamaroka.
Boluwatif Akinrenade.
Riley Ambriosius.
Scylla Atabas.
Juliana Barber.
Zanaya Basbab.
Tatiana Bazado.
Chloe Billette.
David Bingert.
Jake Blumenfeld.
Liam Borse.
Juliana Bridge.
Brian Bringhurst.
Alyssa Burns.
Hunter Byrne.
Carly Campbell.
Adele Campbell.
Juliana Carragher.
Benjamin Casper.
Zachary Castagna.
Gabriella Cavallo,
Amanda Chen,
Mahir Chowdhury,
Cecilia Civarelli,
Jessica Cochran,
Charlotte Codd,
Sierra Coffer,
Brett Cohen,
Christopher Collins,
Caitlin Collier,
Madison Conrad,
Gabriella Cooksley,
Amir Coombs,
Damasio Cooper,
Molly Courtney,
Angelina Dano,
Thomas Deloria,
Emma Dennis,
Juliana DePaulo,
Natalie DeCrosta,
Maximilian DeFrancesco,
Leonard Drack,
Theodore Duffel,
Tyler Egan,
Reese Emerson,
Vivian Evans,
Caitlin Ewing,
Cameron Fell,
Kendall Fletcher,
Jordan Fogelman,
John Friedus,
Bryn Galloway,
Liza Giordordesi,
Camila Gomez,
James Gonlick,
Alyssa Gorman,
Jason Guyon,
Nicholas Haddon,
Maggie Handley,
Courtney Harris,
Lindsay Harrison,
Nicholas Howenstein,
Ava Herman,
Molly Hitchin,
Ryan Hawksmith,
Guy Horton,
Nicholas Humas,
Lena Howard,
Olivia Hughes,
Adam Hunter,
Loba Ibarando,
Ava Irizarry,
Ryan Jacobson,
Suleiman Jallo,
Grace Jankowski,
Allison Karpovich,
Kaylee Karpovich,
Sienna Kelly,
Sarah Kelly,
Julie Kemp,
Andrew Kim,
Alexandra Kim,
Danielle Kitchenman,
Max Kranikovich,
Sarah Kramer,
Catherine Crom,
Rebecca Kroll,
Joseph Labella,
Elise Labora,
Alexa Landman,
Christopher Lewis,
Kyle Lewis,
Olivia Lobecker,
Kira Loftus,
Gianna Loram,
Michael Laurenti,
Jamie Lorimer,
Mackenzie Louder,
Jean Lucas Bergener,
Samantha Lynn,
Morgan Macholsky,
Aubrey Mahaland.
Natalia Maldonado.
Daniel McColgan.
Dylan McDonald.
Kelsey McGarrigle.
Jessica McVeigh.
Jack McVeigh.
Ryan Meehan.
Jordan Millerino.
Christopher Mitchell.
Marlene Moore.
Kaylee Moore.
Ether McLaughlin.
Leah Newman.
Alexi Nikitin.
Madison O'Brien.
Samantha O'Brien.
Alyssa Otis.
Devin Palmer.
Niyati Patel.
Zara Patel.
Ashi Patel.
Sierra Perry.
Olivia Fellon.
Andrew Plen.
Taylor Quarry.
Jamil Radford.
Gianni Ramirez.
Jace Reddick.
Daniel Reeves.
Annalise Resta.
Ava Rickards.
Kane Ringdon.
Liliana Rios.
Fernando Rios.
Craig Ropars.
Anastasia Rubin.
Jake Schneider.
Cameron Trader.
Luke Schweiker.
Elena Seitz.
Merrick Senlikoglu.
Mia Sermarini.
Morgan Schultens.
Delana Shearer.
Lily Shearer.
Ruby Stino.
Emma Silk.
Christopher Simcox.
Brandon Slosky.
Joshua Smiler.
Lauren Smiler.
Zachary Smith.
Marissa Snyder.
Charles Soska.
Travis Springer.
Hannah Stanton.
Ryan Steckrope.
Madison Stout.
Artem Strelikov.
Marissa Zeminski.
Justin Thomas.
Zanaya Thompson.
Joshua Thompson.
Morgan Toy.
Riley Triano.
Delaney Turchi.
Caitlin Turnbull.
Julia Vaca.
Alexia Vecadoli.
Nika Vorkanova.
Ali Waski.
Nicole Webb.
Augustus White.
Sadie Wiley.
Robert Wood.
Christina Yasinowska.
Katie Yim Yim,
Nicole Zarishnik.
Reese Zermitis,
And Danny Zhang. At this time, I'd like to thank our advisors, Ms. Kelly and Ms. Caranta, for their support in helping us maintain the values of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. I would like to thank administration, especially Mr. Gartzka, for their support of the past, present, and future endeavors. Please join me in thanking them with a round of applause. Again, thank you to all who made tonight possible, and congratulations to the new inductees to Neshaminy's chapter of the National Honor Society. Please recess to the main lobby for some light refreshments. Thank you.